Since April 4th of this year, this part of the Drummond Frontage Road has been closed from this point at Bearmouth all the way back to Bear Gulch because of the rock slide that came on that date. Since then, the Montana Department of Transportation returned no inquiries to the residents who live in this area as to what and when something would happen on this road. On August 21st, the Flint Creek Courier got involved and we made a call to the Department of Transportation asking them what was going to happen, and they assured us that during the week of August 26th, a crew would be out here to help clear this to a single lane with a jersey rail so that residents would have at least one lane to pass on. But as you can see, that hasn't happened yet. So what is it exactly that the residents of this area and the entire Drummond Frontage Road have to experience every time they have to take the alternate route of Mullen Road that lies just south of the I-90? According to residents, it's a washboarded, dangerously curved road that's 6 miles long and takes nearly 3 times as long to navigate. Let's drive it right now. Now, according to Google Maps, this route is going to take us approximately 17 minutes. The road is closed just to our right there. We're passing over the frontage road, and now we go to Mullen Road, where, gee whiz, it looks like we're going to hit a train. So there's your first obstacle in the event of a medical emergency that could befall you. Now we're under the 90. And looks like we just missed the train, fortunately for us. Now there's supposedly a sinkhole there that is right near the railroad crossing that evidently has been filled in lately. Now, you can already sense, if you can't hear it maybe, this road has been graded last week, but you can already feel the ripples and see the ripples in a lot of areas starting to come back. The speed limit is 35. So, and this is a single lane road, so you can already see up ahead here that we've got a blind hill that if you're going 35 and I'm only going 30, could be a real problem. Another concerning factor on this particular drive is that right now our school children are having to use this. The bus service for Drummond has to use this road every day. According to Marty Sackman of the bus drivers, this adds about another 10 to 12 minutes to their trip. As you can hear, there's some washboarding, and again, this was just graded last week. You can only imagine if this thing doesn't get attention every so often, if these washboards, as the rain and the weather start to pile up, will only get worse. Okay, we've got a straight stretch here. We're going to try and get up to 35, and that's where we are now. So we're going to set our cruise control to 35. And try and maintain an even speed here. One of the complaints lodged by some of the residents in my interview 2 weeks ago was that some of the rail link vehicles will come along this road and, to their claim, are clearly not doing 35 miles an hour, according to them, and that as they fly down this road, that it makes it very tough to get out of the way of those vehicles as they're oncoming. Now, in a straight stretch like this, you've got a pretty good line of sight and can see, but as we've already seen, there are a couple of blind curves and hills that could cause a real problem for somebody in a vehicle or a bus if you were to meet one of those trucks coming the opposite direction. Again, we're maintaining a speed of 35 right now. And remember also that this road has been the primary way for these people to get to Missoula, unless they go all the way back to Drummond, which is about 10 miles from where we started this journey, adding a 20 miles to each end of the trip if you don't take this road. And another thing to remember too is I'm driving in a 2016 vehicle, which is a relatively newer vehicle than a lot of the ones that the folks up the hill have up Bear Gulch. So that also plays a part in this. This road at 35, not a terrible drive in this truck. But imagine it being a medical emergency. Now, this rock slide happened on April 4th, and there was just no communication between the state and the Department of Transportation and any of the residents. And they were calling, they were trying to contact people. On August 21st, the Flint Creek Courier called on their behalf, and we're told that over the week of August 26th that there was supposed to be a contractor out here to clear the rock slide to at least one lane with a jersey rail to help protect any more falling rocks from coming down onto the road. That has not happened as of today. So again, big sweeping curve here, but still kind of blind. If something were coming and coming fast, you'd have a hard time avoiding it. Here's another one of these curves right here. A little bit of an S curve, kind of blind. A lot of brush that keeps you from seeing what's really going on. And if you're going 35 miles an hour, as we are, you can see stuff comes up on you kind of fast. Again, another blind spot here. One you gotta slow down for and you don't really see going 35. Well, that could be nasty if there was an oncoming car right there. Here's another one. Again, the residents told us, here's another one. The residents told us this had been graded last week. I don't know how far down it went. I would presume the length of it. Now, this particular road is a county road and belongs to Granite County. And so they are responsible for this. This little part in here is kind of sort of paved. I just went over a pothole there I just missed. Again, another curve, kind of blind. Here's another blind curve. And again, going the same distance as from Bear Gulch to where you would normally drive up to Bearmouth to get on the highway. But because it's dirt and because we're going 30, 35 miles an hour, it's going to take us at least twice, and according to residents, 3 times as long. Another tough turn, blind. Back to 35. One of the residents of Bear Gulch, Michelle Christmas, has a condition called SAPHO syndrome. SAPHO is an acronym that stands for the various symptoms of that particular ailment. One of which is enlarged growth in some of her bones and joints and extreme tenderness in those bones and joints. And so riding on a road that's rough, now we got a hazard ahead. Here again, another blind hill and curve. And you can only imagine the amount of pain that might be incurred while trying to get to the hospital for steroid shots that she gets that helps alleviate some of that pain. Only to either drive back to Drummond to come back to the access point to the Bear Gulch, or to navigate this road. It's not a bad drive if you're out here for leisure purposes. So we're coming up on the turn to the Gulch here in just to Bearmouth here in just a moment. Like here we are right here. And we make the turn and we will go back over the tracks. Again, an opportunity where you could get caught by a train if you were in an emergency. And we go under the freeway. To where you would access the on-ramp to Missoula. Until this blockage is cleared or at least made passable, the residents of Bear Gulch and the Drummond Frontage Road, as well as all of the school children that live along it, will have to use the alternate route of Mullen Road with its washboarded surface and dangerous blind curves. The Montana Department of Transportation has said that they are considering everything, that all options are on the table, as well as possibly abandoning this road. For the Flint Creek Courier.com, this is Tim Allen.